Why be easy when you can just die? Woo! I'm Chewy Mew and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome to another Chewy Mew video, but even more specifically, welcome to the 250 subscribers special, and that is the ToyBiz Spider-Man Classics Snapshot Spider-Man, which is right here. We're over here so you guys can see the whole experience. Here's my first Spider-Man figure ever. And this is going to be a bit of a longer review, spoilers. Maybe like over 20 minutes. We'll see. And that's because I'm just going to take my time enjoying this. You know, you guys are kind of sitting around with me, basically, you know, having my first experience with this figure. But yeah, so I'm just going to enjoy this figure because man, it just looks so cool. And one other thing about buying this is you can see how good the package quality is. I bought this from someone who sold it on eBay. You can see compared to this package, this Dr. Octopus Spider-Man Classics package I have. This was earlier, 2000. This 2004. This is somewhat later. You can see, looking at the two boxes, this one has like a slight yellow tint to it. And then here, really quick, you get a read-up, right? Or not a read-up, you get kind of a description here. Place Spider-Man in dynamic stance. Load picture Spider-Man inside of camera. Press the button on the pretend camera to set off the flash and release a picture of Spider-Man. And then slip photo into the Daily Bugle headline, which we're going to get to all these goodies. I just want to enjoy this how it is. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I don't want to open it, but I mean, hey, I bought it so I can open it. I'm gonna open it. I'm not just gonna leave it in the package forever. It rips the package. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. You know, I'm gonna see if I can open it only like maybe halfway, because you know, even if the figure's out of the package, I want to like seal up the box. Okay, come on. I'm left-handed. I don't know why I'm doing this with my right. I mean, I can do this so I don't get all of it. And then here's the goodies in here. First, let's take out this little display base thing here. I'm so scared of it. I want to open this without damaging the package. Like, I don't plan on reselling this for the foreseeable future, but... Okay, come on. Here's the little Daily Bugle newspaper thingy here. We could probably grab this little rod right here. Come on. Usually I don't care about damaging packages when I open them, but this one, I just don't want to damage it. You got this little clip right there, too. Come on. Come on. Boom, there we go. Okay, nice. We got all of that. Here's this little display stand clippy thing. It's really... Oh, it looks like... Oh, you can actually separate it. And then we get to the actual meat and potatoes of this package here. And see, now that way I didn't have to completely ruin the box. So the box has like a flap. I could just, you know, put a little bit of like some tape on the side to make it. So I just want to have the package. Holy crap, guys. Let's take the camera. Take the camera. Ooh, look at that. Wow, you get another picture here of Spider-Man. That's really nice. Kind of bendable plastic. I feel like you could break that if you're kind of dingus. Here's the camera. Oh, I can like actually slot the pictures in there. That's cool. Press the button, it flashes. That's nice. Okay, we're gonna set that there, and then here we go. Woo! We finally get the figure here. Let's move this back into good position here. And here we go, guys. We have 4 or 5 twist ties here, or 6, I think. Yeah, I can't count anymore. You know, come on. The twist tie's getting stuck to his leg right there, or to the box. And then we get to pull these little twist ties out of the arm. Come on. Sometimes these get stuck. The tie was just so stuck to the plastic. Like right there, it got kind of stuck. Come on. Also, you know, the reason they also obviously wrap these so nice and tight like this in the day was obviously so the figure wouldn't fall out of the envelope or like on the plastic sleeve he was on. But also so that stealing would be hard. Because if you want to steal this figure, you would have to do all this work to, you know, actually even get it out of the box. And I better put this box cutter away, because what if something stupid happens? Here we go. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh, here it is. Here it is. That waist is really loose, though, or the ball joint. Here it is, guys. Holy crap. That neck is really stiff. Has, like, some plastic on him there. Holy crap, guys. This feels so weird to have this guy. But, wow, it feels so cool. The material is so good. I haven't touched a brand new ToyBiz toy in, it's probably been honestly since like 2000, maybe 2007, I want to say, 2008, around that time. This arm joint here is really tight. That arm joint's really tight. These fingers are... I think it's been in the package so long, some of the joints are kind of weird now. They're kind of wonky. Yeah, the fingers, they move. I'm trying to make sure joints aren't broken or anything so I can just, like, you know, freak out and lose my mind. That the index finger on that hand is a little stiff right there. It moves together, but it doesn't move independent from the thumb. There it goes. It kind of sounded like it clicked. What about this hand? This hand, they move together more. Sometimes some of these figures, I remember with Sinister Six Spider-Man, when I opened it up, a lot of the joints were super tight because they've never been touched. Like, this has never been touched by a person in, you know, 17 years since it came out. Ooh, I'm really scared I'm going to break joints. I might have to heat it up and, you know, adjust some joints to make them, you know, better. Come on. Toe bends good. This toe is kind of stuck here as well. It bends. You can see how it cracks a lot. That, woo, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells moving the joints here. Right there. I don't think he does. It looks like he might. Oh, he does. Okay. Oh, every time I hear those cracks, I feel like I'm breaking a... I feel like I'm just going to, like, rip an arm off or something. The arms go up. They go around here. The butterfly joints, they don't really move much. I noticed the ab crunch on him... Actually, no, it's pretty much the same ab crunch as on Sinister Six. Like, the Sinister Six, the plastic on Sinister Six feels a lot different. This one feels heavier because it has more meat to it. You see, they're both the ab crunches are still really good there. See, the spider logos are very different. But I just want to get this comparison out of the way because a lot of people always say that, oh, this figure sucks. They just reuse the snapshot. Like, if you take a look here at the biceps, the arm is actually longer on Snapshot Spider-Man, it looks like. Yeah, the hands are a little bit longer on Snapshot Spider-Man. Obviously, the paint is different. The spider logo is different here, too. You can see how it's the spider is a lot thinner on this one, a lot less goopy with... I mean, not goopy, like, but just a lot more paint on it. Obviously, completely different head sculpts here. The butterfly joint is really tight, and it scares me. The butterfly joints on this one actually broke, so they're kind of weird. And now I want to debunk the theory I had where the thighs were actually bigger. Are the thighs actually bigger on Snapshot? And it appears the thighs, I think they're the same as far as height goes. Height, I think Snapshot's actually a bit taller here. Snapshot's actually a little bit taller than him. Yeah, a little bit taller. Just overall, just taller from the everywhere else as well. Just, you know, overall bigger figure. On the blue part of the arm is actually thicker, like on the elbow right there. You can see how the shoulder, the cut on them is kind of the same. This one just has like a little bit of scratches and stuff on it. Having a figure this expensive and this rare break, that's like heartbreaking, you know? That would just be heartbreaking. My first Spider-Man figure ever right here. He has a ball jointed torso, but it moves around like this and stuff, so. But whereas his, oops, it doesn't really, it does rock back and forth and side to side a little bit. But I think mostly it's kind of good for like an additional upper torso rotation in case you want him in some position. You want him rotating from the upper body rather than having him rotate from the waist. Because, you know, if you want him like in a pose like this and you want his body rotated like that, you can use the, I don't know if I'm on camera, you can use him, you can like rotate the waist or you can have the ball joint rotated. Really, really beautiful. We'll get back more to him more in detail. So let's take a look first at one of the gimmicks that this has here. So this is Daily Bugle. Oh, they give you an extra one on the back too. Nice. So yeah, they give you these 3 pictures you have right here. These look like very much kind of like the Bagley. I think it's Bagley, right? The huge eyes and stuff. I will say this doesn't look anything like him. It looks more like the Spider-Man that you see, you know, on the actual packaging of the box here. You don't see the actual figure. They don't make them like the figure, which, I mean, that's okay. Another picture here, another picture here. Oops. I think out of these 3 photos, where'd it go? I think out of these 3, my favorite is probably this one, just because it looks very much, very much stylized. You can see all the muscles and stuff. They're very, like, glossy and shiny on here. These ones, you don't see it as much. It's hard to explain, but I don't know. Something about the picture on this one just looks, I don't know, I just like the drawing, the art, like the style of this one. These ones look much kind of more simple, especially this one looks very much simple there. Slot this on. I think the ones on the back, you hold them like this here, you know, as like a, just, you know, like a spare. Then you can take your other picture here. I feel like I'm gonna break it if I slide it in here. This material on it, it does feel papery, or no, it feels kind of papery. I feel like one thing they might want you to do is like you can like write on this or something, you know, because it looks kind of like some kind of material you could write on. Come on. Oh crap, the sticker came off. What you do with the cameras, you can press the flash, gives like a little flashlight there. And then you're supposed to take your picture here. Take your picture, Spider-Man. Stick it into the camera there. Oh, and then it... Oh, and oh, that's so cool. This is the way it's supposed to work. You press the camera shutter, and then it kind of makes it like your picture's coming out, you know, which... as a kid, I'd probably find that really cool. By the way, it's pretty obvious. I keep pressing the camera button when I put it in here. It's pretty obvious to tell that Spider-Man can't really use this camera here much. You can see how the lens right there, it looks a little bit dirty. But that's a really, really cool gimmick there. If you want to see how flashlight potential this kind of has, turn off all these lights here. Boom. I mean, you can't really use this as a flashlight much, but you get this little pick thing here with a bunch of points of bendability and stuff. And so you can move the head and stuff here, move that part, move here. And then what you can do is you can take your diorama looking thing here. We see a guy webbed up there with like a blue mask on. Which, by the way, the paint on this looks amazing still. You know, for being a display base, the paint they did on this guy, they definitely didn't pull any punches painting this thing here. Like, looks very much like something you would see. You look very much like something you see out of a comic book panel. It's obviously hollow on the back. And this display base here, it actually looks like you can actually take this apart. Take it apart in case you want just the diorama on the back, or you want to have, if you want just Spider-Man on a display, or you want Spider-Man, you know, you want the whole thing together, or you want, you know, individual pieces. And then you can take your good old-fashioned display base here, plop that down. And it does take a little bit of force to get these pegs in here, actually. Boom, boom. And then there you go, and there's that display stand like that, which that's a really, really awesome looking set here. Stand Spider-Man here. Spider-Man is pretty tall, but I guess it's supposed to be like a perspective kind of thing where it looks like Spider-Man's really close to the camera and they're far away, but which it actually does clip to his waist. Yeah, it clips to his waist pretty good. It does hold him pretty good. Put this on here. Oops, that kind of went hard. I'm on there. It looks a lot tinier in camera than in real life. You can also have it like hooked to his like pelvis here, kind of. You can have it like, not really though, but you know, the cool thing is you can have him like, you know, suspended in midair. The ab crunch is kind of loose, so having him do midair pose is kind of weird, but you can totally have him, you know, like sitting down. Obviously you can, this is a little bit loose on this thing here, so, you know, you could put a little bit of glue dots here or something, tighten that up a bit. You know, it is a little bit loose, especially for how much the figure, it's not heavy, the figure's kind of light. Comparing these two, I feel like this one might actually be kind of heavier, maybe. If I take off the display stand here, the weight, I feel like this one might be a little bit heavier. Obviously, you know, compare him to something like Rhino here. Rhino's a lot heavier, a lot bigger too. He actually looks like a bit of a bigger kind of Spider-Man figure. I feel like he's a little bit taller than other figures. Who's another one here? Like my first Spider-Man figure, ever compare these heights together, compare their heights. Actually, yeah, he's a little bit taller than my first ever Spider-Man figure here. Like, yeah, you can even take this off here and just display that separately on its own. And then you could have Spider-Man, you know, on a display stand. You could get him in some mid-air poses and stuff here. If take a look here at the head sculpt, it does look, to me, it definitely screams the early 60s Spider-Man design, you know, by Stan Lee and Ditko. The tiny little white in it. The paint on it's awesome. Of course, it's ToyBiz. The paint's going to be beautiful on it. See that spider logo? The paint on the camera looks like the black part is missing. It's like it's missing paint. But trust me, all of this is very much black painted on. On here, the web is a lot thinner, and I noticed on the arms here, on the wrists, and the boots, they actually have very, very almost unnoticeable paint on the boots and the glove right here. They actually just look like much darker plastic. Like you compare his leg to his torso here. You can see the plastic on the leg is different. It's obviously different plastic material compared to the torso, and the same thing on the head here. You can see how it's, I don't know what kind of plastic this is, but it definitely feels like a lot different kind of plastic here. This is like much more rubbery and squishy kind of feels. Same hands as like the Sinister Six has as well. See the fingers they're coming out, which looks really good as well. The fingers are in a little bit of like a hunched or like a crunched or whatever this is called, like slightly bent kind of position for his hands. So whatever position you get his hands in, it's gonna be a little bit fisty. Like even if you have him like where is it? Like you have him with his index finger here. Even if he's pointing, it looks a little bit kind of bent a little bit when the paint is a little bit thicker on this side compared to that one. I love the blue to it. It looks like very much like I don't know, glossy matte, I would say. Because it doesn't look, like very, very shiny, but it doesn't look super glossy either. It looks like a little bit slightly, like very, very slightly glossy matte. Like not super glossy, but like a matte color with a very, very, like it kind of like it shimmers in the light, but they are bigger. His thighs look bigger here. Yeah, I think the thighs are bigger. The knee, everything on his leg is bigger, but you can see the webs stretching out on the fabric here. As you can see, oops, come on, why don't you focus on the legs right here, dude? You can see how the web lines on this are a lot skinnier and a lot narrow, whereas this ones look a lot thicker and bigger. You can see how this web line or vein goes all the way up to the tip, all the way down here, and this one does too, and that one goes across. This one, these look a lot more blended in, which I feel like it looks for the much more cartoony comic book design, whereas this one looks much like a much more dark and gritty kind of Spider-Man. My ear itches. Look how nice and clean that spider looks. Just very, very, very classic looking spider there. Very wide ribs on this guy, I will say. Stuff. Of course, you can have the classic, the good old web swinging pose here. Like, I prefer Spider-Man swinging, like this with the arms and legs together, kind of like this, swinging like that. Kind of a little bit angled back, make it look a little bit like he's kind of doing that pose a bit here. A little bit like that, like he's kind of going for it. You could even use it as like Spider-Man, oops. You could like attach a little bit of wire onto this. You could have Spider-Man, suspended from a thing, You could have him using it like this. It does hold his waist pretty tight. On the side, it doesn't really hold on the side. It does hold on the front and on the back. You can't really hook it to the legs or anything anywhere else. I'm just glad the ball joint isn't... Actually, if the ball joint was loose, tightening a ball joint is easier than tightening a waist swivel or the ab crunch. But the ball joint's a little bit loose there, but, it's perfectly fine there. Even though the butterfly joints don't really come out, you still do get a little bit of butterfly motion with the armpit joints here, which, that's really nice there. But yeah, I think his figures looks great. Let's go over his articulation now, which I've already been kind of showing off. The head looks up pretty much all the way, I would say, all the way down. It rotates on the head, and then it rotates here on the neck as well. The one thing they did change was the Sinister Six Spider-Man, which unfortunately the neck on mine is broken. But the Sinister Six had 2 hinges on his neck. You could hinge here, just a custom neck because mine broke. Obviously, you could rotate here, you could hinge here. He did have the same rotation in the neck right here as well. But then he also had a hinge on the bottom of his neck, so you could hinge the neck back and forth. The arms go all the way around. They don't go up all the way, but they go up like about that high, which that's pretty good still. This arm, it only goes up that high, so I don't know what that's about there. He does a butterfly joint, which it is really stiff there, but it's basically supposed to move like this. Mine is stiff because it broke, but it's supposed to have, like this kind of movement like that. The ball jointed torso, it does rock side to side a bit, it does go forward and back a little bit, but I think the biggest utility for it is rotating in the waist here. Rotating as like a rotation instead of using this one. Like I said earlier, if you want him in a pose like this and you want his body to turn, you could have the waist rotate like this, or have the ball joint rotate like that, or you could have the waist rotate like this. So basically, it kind of allows you to pick, or you can kind of angle it. And like, talk about that, he has the waist swivel, the ab crunch goes forward really, really good, and goes back, it gets kind of stuck there, goes back, goes back all the way, like completely, like 90 degrees back. I think this moves back more than the Sinister Six, only because you get a slight, oops, kind of blurry. You get a slight, movement here in the ab, so you can have it move up and then down there. Anyway, the legs kick up pretty much all the way. He can do the splits there, both legs. Rotation here in the upper, like the ball in the leg. Double bend in the knee. Rotation here in the boot. You get a swivel in the boot a bit here. The toe bends forward, bends all the way back, the ankle, and then the toe bends all the way up and all the way down, pretty much. On the bottom of the foot here, this one says Made in China. I can't even see it in real life. It says 2004 Marvel Entertainment ToyBiz Worldwide 2004. Then you can have your little newspaper here, and you could have your camera to, you know, take a picture of Spider-Man. And so, yeah, all of this stuff right here is just awesome here. You know, the packaging is, you know, just what you know with the ToyBiz Spider-Man Classics packaging there. Really awesome packaging. Also, one thing I didn't say is the picture here, that is not the Spider-Man you get in the box. That is from the, I don't see him here. Where is he? He's right here. There's the Spider-Man right here. That's the figure that they show on the packaging. As you can see, the pictures on this are different. Like, you can see the pictures you get on it aren't the same as the ones here. You can see, I think these pictures here actually look cooler. You just get, like, looks like these look much more illustrated. These look a lot more kind of regular, generic Spider-Man pictures. Especially this one right here. That one looks really, really cool. I can't make out where he is. And it looks like Spider-Man swinging next to, like, a burning building there. I just think those pictures look cooler. I really wish we would have got those on the box. Awesome camera, awesome this. Everything on this is just great. I don't know. I just think I think this figure just looks awesome. So, you know, if you like this figure, let me know. Let me know what you think about this review. You know, either way, that's all for this video. I will see you guys in the next review. Wow. And here's Big Brain. Let's take out Big Brain. Because Big Brain is here to make us suffer. His sole existence is just to make us suffer.